Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Aspiring Adult Podcast. My name is Alexandra Hayek, and I'm your host. Today with me is Rachel. Rachel's my friend, another friend from Spain, back to back. Look at that. Um, yeah, she was in the same program as me, not the same apartment. But anyways, Rachel, would you please introduce yourself?
I'm Rachel. I We met studying abroad in Madrid. It was great. A lot of fun stories from then. And I live at home.
Okay, so, um, remind us again what you studied and why you wanted to be in that field and how did you come about that decision? And then also if like if you still want to do anything that relates to it.
All right. So I went to the College of Charleston in South Carolina, and I have a BS degree in international business and a major in Spanish. And I don't know, I kind of just decided in high school that I was going to do that. I didn't really know what it was until I was a junior and actually taking the actual major classes. And it was too late to change. So I just kind of stuck with it. But I kind of liked it. I'm not really doing anything with it now. But um, yeah, I was originally wanting to do psychology. And then I was like, I don't want to do all that reading. I'm better at math. So I went business. And then I was like, I like traveling. And then whenever I decided I was going to go to where I went and they had international business, I was like, all right, slay, we'll do this. And now I'm thinking about going to law school.
Oh, okay. I didn't know this.
Yeah, it's a new thing. I've been talking to Shannon about it, but
Wait, okay, so um just like doing international law, like
I've been thinking about doing like corporate law, business law, or like regulations, but mainly more so like corporate, just because I do have like the business background. And then I'm a waitress right now, and one of my regulars, they said that supply chain, which is like the field that I started going into whenever I graduated, I had an internship with them in that field. They said that there's supply chain law, so I could do that too. So opportunities.
that's incredible. I mean, there's like so many options for you to do. But in the meantime, as I know, but listeners don't know, you are going to Ireland.
I am. And I leave in a month. And they have like this thing called the work holiday authorization, where it's only offered to people who've graduated from college, and you have like from the time you graduate, you have like a year to apply for it from your graduation date. And I saw it on TikTok, and I was like, yes, I will do that. And then I applied, and I was like, great, I don't know how I'm gonna pay for this, but I'm doing it. So can't back out now.
I honestly I love that because I feel like I mean the trajectory is like you graduate, you go to college and then I mean a job and then you stay there and that's what you do and then you move up the ranks or whatever. But a lot of people that's just not how it works out. And I know that I have a lot of like sometimes I have a lot of fear or like and I know other people do too, but I love seeing you and like being like, all right, like whatever happens, happens, like I'll go with the
Yeah.
flow. And then it's like you were like finding out about this really cool opportunity. You were like, guess I'll do it. Fuck it. Like I'll go. And
Yeah, I mean,
I just love that about
you're
you.
only in like you're only in your early 20s once. So it's better to just if you see it, go ahead and you're like, "Oh, I want to do that." It's better to like do it now whenever you don't have like children, more adult things going on,
Yeah.
and you and then you have like the ability to do so.
Hmm. It's still an unserious age. you to be doing anything. So
Yeah, I'm calling it my like journey to adulthood.
I love that. Love it.
You know, little soul search. Did some soul searching and whenever we studied abroad and
Oh yeah.
um
A lot of soul searching.
yeah, some soul drinking.
Soul drinking, some soul draining. Um, okay, so like I said, I really think that we should all like start being a bit more like you. And so I wanted to ask you, is there anybody that inspires you to like live your life like you do? Or are you just like that?
No, not really. You know, I did think about it really, really hard. And no, it's just kind of how I am, you know. My it's great because my parents are really supportive about me just being like really independent and just being like, "Oh, I'm doing this." But I don't really like think about the end part of it. I just like, "Yes, I'm doing this." And then there's no changing my mind. So, um and like they really help me like connect all my dots. So I'm not like scrambling at the last second like normal. But yeah, I don't really have like any type of role model in that sense, but I get like my work ethic from my mom.
But I like that you like you're really just like that and you're just true to yourself and you just do what you do. Um,
Mhm.
and it doesn't necessarily come from anywhere, which I think is so cool. Um, so my next question for you is again, like in this vein of, okay, you just like you're such a fuck it, I'll do it person. What is um the thing that has most surprised you about your 20s? Like I imagine that a lot of it, like since you're a pretty go with the flow person, I don't know if anything has surprised you because you don't think about it or what, but yeah.
No, I mean, I definitely thought that I would be in like some sort of career by now. Because I mean, it's almost been what a year since graduation, about. So, I definitely thought that I would be in like some sort of career by now, maybe figuring out like going to getting my master's. Because like whenever I graduated, I had like a whole like 3 years already like planned of my life with different jobs I was gonna do and stuff, and getting my master's degree more in a more focused field, and then thinking about getting my doctorates. So like it just kind of didn't work out that way, and I was like, oh well. And then I did struggle with it a lot, and then I just kind of like sat down, meditated, and was like, it's all good. It's not meant to be. There's something bigger out there waiting, plotting, scheming. Yeah, I mean, I'm just waiting for the right time.
Yeah. So I guess my follow-up question would be, what would you say to people who are kind of like struggling with that, reconciling with the fact that they're not where they think they should be or would be?
There's like a lot of other people who are doing that or who are feeling the exact same way. And like even me going and getting this waitress job. There's this one girl that I work with. She thought she grew up wanting to be a teacher, everything, got early education license, degree, whatever. She taught for a year, was like, no, this is not it. And then quit teaching, and now she's going back to school and get her nursing license, which is fine. Like everything's fine. Everything will sort itself out at the end of the day. It just takes time, and you have to listen to yourself too, and be like, am I really happy doing this, or am I really doing this just for the money? Because you can have both.
It's all in its own time, and you really just at the end of the day have to be really patient with it. Like,
Yeah, it's it takes a lot of patience.
I know I'm a pretty impatient person, so I'm like over here like my eyes twitching like it's fine.
I know it's so hard to like, give advice if like you're not if like you're not really that much of a patient person because it's like no like this needs to happen now and like I get that way too but like at the same time you have to like sit back and be like okay let's break everything down into like step like how like envision a goal how are you going to get there like what little steps do you have to take and set like mini goals to get to the big one.
For sure. So, like looking back, how do you think that like past you imagined yourself at this age, and how different or similar is it to what
um,
reality is?
Growing up I didn't really know what I wanted what I like whenever I got asked like oh like what do you want to be when you grow up like that kind of question I was always like I don't know we'll figure it out whenever I get there and or it was always like a teacher first grade whenever I was in first grade then it became second grade third grade whatever because it was what I was around and what I was used to but I don't think you ever like know what you really want to do until you like do it really get know some talk to somebody who's done it and get their insight.
And what about like personally, do you think like the type of person that you are? Because sometimes I do think about that too. I don't know, I'm just curious.
Uh, I didn't think I was going to be as good with the flow as I am now because I, in high school especially, I was very driven to do something, and now I'm like, eh, eh, like it'll happen sometime. Waiting. And then in high school, I'd be like, no, this needs to happen.
But I think that doesn't mean that you're not driven. I think that just means that, you've grown and you've become more patient with it and you're more
Mhm.
um at ease with unknown stuff.
Yeah, you gotta. One of my Spanish teachers in high school, actually, she like especially like learning another language tying that in learning another language is very like uncomfortable at times and so she told us all to like hug the air and she was like this is the uncomfortable make peace with it because it's gonna be there no matter what you do
I love that. Hug the
so like
unknown. That's a great like metaphor to have, you know?
right yeah and so ever since she told me that I was always like yeah we're gonna become besties with the uncomfortable.
That's an awesome like perspective to have. I mean, it's obviously easier said than done, but like
It took a while to do that. And whenever I would get uncomfortable or like frustrated at something, I'd be like, embrace the feeling, just embrace it, come to terms with it, figure out what exactly is making me uncomfortable, and then either fixing it or like just accepting that it's there.
so I guess the reason why you're so like go with the flow is because you're so now comfortable with the uncomfortable, I guess.
Yeah. I'm just like, oh, just let it brush off.
So speaking of uncomfortable things, what is something that you're struggling with right now? Like in general? Is
Um,
there anything that you think you're like having a tough time with or like having no.
right now, figuring out what I'm going to bring to Ireland and how I'm gonna figure out where to live, get a job and everything within like 15 days of being there because that's how long I got my Airbnb. So like,
Okay, let's expand on Ireland if you don't mind.
yeah.
So what? Okay, so you said you found this opportunity on or like you found out about it on TikTok. What made you decide Ireland? What made you decide? Like, how did it all kind of come about after like you saw that?
So I originally wanted to go back to Spain,
Okay.
obviously. And they didn't have like an easy way of going about to get a visa to live and work there very easily. So I was like, okay, but then all of a sudden I'm scrolling on TikTok, found out about the work holiday authorization, and there's like there are only 5 countries that do it. Ireland, Australia, and I think some Asian countries. And I was like, well, as much as I would love to go to Asia, I don't speak the language at all, and I'm not going to be able to learn it in a year. And then I was like, then I could do Australia, but I was like, I don't want to sit in a flight for that long and everything. And traveling around, you'd stay in the same country. So then I was like, Ireland. I can still travel around Europe. I could go to Spain whenever I wanted to, if I want, for a little weekend
Yeah.
getaway.
Yeah.
So, and I was like, we'll do Ireland. And then all the videos I found on TikTok were for Ireland. So I was like, bet, sign me up.
Do you know any people in Ireland?
Nope.
Yeah.
I've also never been to Ireland before. So,
Eh,
no.
it's so funny that you're just like, okay, like that's hilarious. I mean, I've heard the people there are really nice.
Yeah, I'm sure that they're sweet. I mean, and I don't think you were there that night, but um one night in study abroad we went to this karaoke bar, Brindis, and there were some British people there were some Irish people there, and it was very weird hearing English like
Like that.
after a while, and because we were sitting next to like in the middle of all of them, and we were all like, wait, they're speaking English. They're there for like some soccer game or something, but it was really weird.
I only went to Brindis that one time. Um,
Yeah, that we ran away.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
that we ran
yeah,
away.
yeah.
That could, anyways, okay. So completely different question. It has 180, but as you know, and as I've said many times, I love everything that has to do with pop culture and media. So I want to know if there's a piece of media or pop culture moment or anything that has like impacted you or that has stuck out to you in your life.
The breaking up of One Direction.
Okay, let's get into it. Let's get into it. Because no, listen to this. When they broke up, I wasn't that big of a fan by that point. I was only really a true fan at the first album, and then I got bored of them, I guess. Um, and then when they broke up, I was walking through the field of my high school, and I see this girl scream at the top of her lungs, start sobbing. She like threw herself on the ground against a wall, and she was like, "No." And I was like, oh my God, somebody died. Like, oh my God, I bet like a parent of hers died. Like, I feel so bad. And then later on, like, I don't know, I was walking around and I was like, dude, I heard so and so like scream. Is she okay? They were like, yeah, One Direction broke up. I was like, or like Zayn left. And I was like, are we?
Yeah, I was like a really like die-hard fan, and then as soon as Zayn left, I was like, my heart, I can't do this anymore. So I didn't really listen to the next album with the just the 4 of them.
They,
So
they had one, right? That was just the four of them.
yeah, I think it was called 4.
Yeah. Wow.
But yeah, I
That's
could
funny.
I was just like, I this is so sad. And then they went on tour with that album too, or or something, and it was just the 4 of them, and they had to like break up like Zayn's parts between the 4 of them, and I was like, this is just not right. It's just
Yeah.
right. My little middle school heart was aching.
It was
Like
crazy. It was like a whole thing. I know that there's this one, I don't know what celebrity it is, but there's a video of some celebrity back then on the red carpet and like the reporter's like, "Oh, did you know that Zayn left?" And I think it was the day of, and everybody was like, "Zayn left One Direction? What? What? What?" on the red carpet. And I was like, It's crazy how impactful these
Dude,
teenagers
and the
were.
way that like Zayn's also not been in the media for like years
Years.
until I
Oh,
did the podcast.
now he is.
Yeah, now he's back out there and he's like, hey guys.
Oh,
So
he went on Paul
now,
Daddy of all podcasts.
oh, exactly. And then my whole thing is now that he's back out in the world, the reunion is coming. I can feel it in my bones.
I I
I
don't want
feel it on my joints.
listen. Like I said, I wasn't that big of a fan. Like I was like a full on. I think I like saturated myself, and then also I got pick me girl syndrome. Um, but the first album, I was like, yes, yes. I kept talking about it to everybody. I made everybody in my class learn this one dance that they had made up in an interview.
Oh, yes.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
I didn't know what you're talking about.
That interview where they're like in a white box and they're
Mm-hmm.
I made everyone in my class learn it. Yeah. Um, and then I just like, yeah, I got pick me girl syndrome and I was like, I don't even like One Direction. And then I got back into it like after they broke up.
Yeah.
So
They yeah, I didn't really know what was going on with them like whenever they first came out until like my like two best friends they came over to my house and they're like, "Have you heard this new band? We're in love with them." And then they showed me like the "What Makes You Beautiful" music video, and then one of my friends was like sobbing at Harry Styles, and my other friend was sobbing at Niall. So I was like, okay,
who's your favorite?
Tomlinson, Mr. Tomlinson.
Mm.
I had a sticker of him right here.
Wait, have you ever seen either of like any of them live?
I went to I think it was the Midnight Memories concert.
So you saw One Direction.
Yeah, hold on, look.
Audio medium. She is showing me what is that? The
The Where We Are tour 2014.
oh my God, it's a lanyard from the tour.
Yeah, One Direction tickets. October 1st, 2014 at the Georgia Dome.
That's a piece of history.
Oh, I know.
Oh my God. I bet you could sell that for like a lot, actually.
Oh, my mom made that one. And then I've also seen 5 Seconds of Summer like 3 times.
Really? I know you
Yeah.
were. I
I was a big 5 Sauce girly.
I went to
I
go
was
see
also
like 2022, or I tried to go see them t summer 2022,
mm,
and the drummer, I forget his name.
Ashton.
Yes, had a heat stroke or heat
Ah,
whatever, and
they're Australian.
yeah, but that's how bad it is down here in Texas.
Yeah,
Like,
true. You true. You're right. You're
oh,
right. We have this, you know what? The South, we got some different heat.
we do, we do.
For people who don't know, I'm from Georgia.
Oh yeah, we should specify that. Um, yeah. All right, so we can move. We could talk about. We could come back to One Direction, but um, my next question for you is, what are you looking forward to in your 20s? I mean, I'm guessing Ireland, but
That is one thing. I don't know, just kind of like figuring out myself, learning myself. Like since I'm in my freshman year of adulthood right now, I'm going into my sophomore year of adulthood. You know, in 2 years graduating college. Will be next year. So just kind of like figuring myself out. You know, going into my mid 20s.
yeah, almost. Oh God.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Um, let's not think about that. Okay,
Ugh.
so my last question for you. I was literally about to say Miss Rachel, and then I realized Miss Rachel of like that kids show.
But
You don't know the Miss Rachel show?
no.
Okay, whatever. It doesn't matter. Um, so my last question for you, Miss Rachel, is what do you want to rant about? What do you give us a rant on something or like geek out on something?
Hmm. Why aren't we in Spain right now?
Oh, we could literally, okay, let's just get into the Spain lore.
Little lore.
The lore of Spain, okay, this will give listeners an insight. Uh, where do we begin?
Um, so okay, so Alex and I, we lived in different apartments. Like, and we never had any classes together. She had classes with my roommates. So I met Alex through my roommates.
Yeah,
And she just kind of showed up at my apartment one day. And she
I think it's with
it was
Leanne.
yeah, it was because we were all gonna go out and they were and Leanne was like, Alex has to come, like did it and I was like, all right, cool. Because I literally went out. I literally went out every single night and would just go to class.
Yeah, that was actually, yeah.
It was bad.
No, it was
Um,
cool.
it was great. It was great for us at the time.
Yeah.
It got my partying out, you know?
Questionable
Um,
decisions were made.
very questionable decisions were made. And then Alex and I figured out that we could hang.
Then every time we went out, we were like this, like it was me and Rachel against the world, bro. Like,
And then we got and then toward the end we both had these green shirts,
oh,
our leprechauns.
yeah, yeah. That was
Yeah.
for St. Patty's Day. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
everyone was in actual Ireland, and we were in Spain, like acting
Like
ridiculous.
fools.
And I remember we were wearing green, and we went into the club, and they were like, "Why are you both wearing the same shirt?" And we were like, "It's
It's
Saint Patrick.
different.
It's St. Patrick's Day. What do you mean? What do you
Oh,
mean?"
my favorite was turning 21 abroad and
Oh yeah.
um having and then wearing my sash to Nuit and my 21st birthday sash, it was literally it lit up, it had lights on it and everything. It was the most obnoxious thing. And I lit it up in the club. I was like, I don't care. I'm American. And like this club only for like the locals. Like there were no foreign people there. Nobody knew about it.
Buddy.
And I swear we were the only American people there.
But we were
They
always there.
no, it was the only place that we went to. We became
I
regulars
need
there
y'all.
that the
I need
security
y'all.
guards knew us.
I was just about to get into that. Guys, this is how much we went to this place. Um, we went on spring break, right? So all of us went on our own trips. I went to Italy with Maggie, that's already been on the show, and then Rachel went with her roommates to the UK. And then we came back for our first night out back in Madrid, and the bouncer was like, "Oh my God, girls, where have you been? I've missed you." We were like, "Oh,
Oh,
this is a problem."
oh no. And the worst part about it was is that he was mainly talking to Alex and I.
Oh, 100%. 100%. Because I swear to God, we would go to other clubs and then me and Rachel would be like,
Nah.
I kind of just want to go back to Nuit.
And so we would either, depending on how late it was, we would either order an Uber and we didn't care how much we had to pay for it, just to take us to Nuit. Take us home is what we called it.
Take us home for real. That's
It started
uh,
getting really bad whenever my phone called Nuit home. Um,
it did that?
it did that.
Oh,
Because we would get there at like midnight and we wouldn't leave until the lights came on. So
Because fun fact to everyone that doesn't know, clubs close at 6 a.m. in Spain. And guess what?
the
We
metro also opens then
oh,
too.
oh yeah, because that's the thing. You don't want to pay for an Uber back home. So anyways, you're gonna stay out until 6 a.m.
Yeah,
Far.
we lived on like the edge of the city. Like it was like a 40-minute like train ride.
Yeah. So like uh you know, what we were being is we were being economically responsible by staying out on all night.
Yes. Yes. Girl math
Girl
works.
math. Um,
The maths.
the math is mathing for sure. Yeah, Spain was a lot.
Fever dream.
It was a fever dream. Anybody that okay, moral of the story is if anybody listening has the opportunity to do a study abroad, do it.
100% do it.
One, do it. Two, highly recommend Madrid.
And I also highly recommend our program. Shout out to Barbara.
Oh my God, shout out to Barb.
Bar!
The real Barbs are followers of Barbara from the AIFS
Yeah,
program.
this program.
That's what a Barb truly means. All right, well, we could wrap this up because we could go on
Yeah.
to Spain forever. But thank you so much, Raechel, for coming on the podcast and doing this. All right, so you can listen to the podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and watch on YouTube. And then please follow us on or me. It's just me. Um Aspiring Adult Podcast on Instagram. Yeah, this is a one woman production, everything. So we
A one woman
appreciate
show.
the support.
Call you Trina Vega. Chicago.
Chicago. And with that, we leave you with another great episode. Goodbye.